2. Here we go. Okay. So Instagram Live and Zoom Live. So we will be talking about what to offer today. Now, this is the third coaching call. The first one was branding, marketing, and advertising. We talked about that. Then we had talking to sellers, which is 3 individual sellers with mobile homes. You have your direct mobile home seller, somebody who actually lives in it, maybe a previous investor, a landlord, somebody like that. Then you have your managers and your park owners. You talk to each one very differently. You approach one very differently. But now it's time to make offers. If you have been branding, if you have been advertising, you should have phone calls coming to you. So if they're presenting deals to you, what are you saying to them at this point? How do you know what to offer? They can send you, one of the first things that I always ask, if I can't make it to a property is, can you send me pictures? I want to at least know what they're talking about. Because here's one thing about a seller. Now, park manager, park owner, they may be around kind of what it is in the sense of how much work the home needs or what they think. But when it's a direct seller, if they tell you something like, well, the floors could use a little adjustment, be prepared. You're about to change most of those floors. A couple walls could use a little painting. It's probably the whole home. So see, these are things that I want to be able to see that. And I tell them, still letting people in. And I tell them, send me some pictures. The quicker I see the home, the quicker I can make you an offer, buy for, we can make the deal. So if you can give me some pictures, I can put my eyes onto it and kind of put 2 and 2 together and let you know. It's all about asking them. And most people do, people typically who don't are, and I say respectfully, the elderly people, they don't know how to work a phone, and they'll tell me, I can't take pictures. I really don't know how. So, then we try to get boots on the ground on that, but still letting people in here. But try to get pictures. Try to see what they're talking about. If they're offering you a deal, you don't know if the deal is a deal if you can't look at the home. And if it's going to take you days, weeks to go out and see it, it's probably not going to be there if it is a good deal. So you're trying to put eyes on this product to see, is it even worth my time? That's what you're doing. Okay. All right. But at this time, now you're ready to make offers. So you want to know what it takes to rehab a mobile home. A mobile home and a stick built are very different, okay? Not just from the legality side. Documents, closings, all that is very different. No, you don't need a realtor, attorney, closing table, none of the above when you actually do a transaction of the mobile home. But also how the rehab takes place. And this is where it's going to start getting tricky. Because if you have a per se mobile home that you want to rehab and you just start getting phone numbers for contractors on Google or wherever you're searching them, you may be getting a rehab or a contractor that all they do is commercial or apartments or houses. They're going to have that same mindset when they come to your mobile home. They don't care this is affordable living or it's a little smaller house or whatever. In their mind, they're thinking they have to set it a certain way. So you have to know how to hire handyman and contractors, and we got a lesson coming on that, specifically how to search for that. But we're going to touch base on that because this goes hand in hand material with handyman contractors and everything. Like I mentioned on Instagram earlier, we do have a presentation on the mobile home that I'm going to show you. I'm going to break it down for you on numbers, and it is a mobile home that's coming available. This one is actually located headed towards Savannah. These homes will be available in about a week. So if you do want to invest in this area, ask about this one because you will have the numbers broke down for it. Okay. All right. Trying to go a little slow there, letting more people come in, but I think we got everybody, that's going to join. If anybody else comes on, we'll go ahead. I muted everybody as y'all are coming in. So if you do have a question, unmute yourself or raise your hand. Okay. All right. What to offer? When you're talking to mobile home sellers, especially direct sellers, the one thing that every mobile home seller, and this goes for real estate, is everybody thinks their home is worth the most. That's a given. And they are in a defense mode from the get-go. If they tell you they're asking X amount of money and you offer so much less, in their mind, you're trying to take advantage of them. Okay. So how you approach them in a sense of making an offer is going to be huge, whether they even want to keep talking to you or if it's even trying to join front. Okay. Okay. Or if it's even going to become a negotiation. So okay. A couple people texted me there. They were trying to join. So Y'all bear with me 1 second. I apologize. All right. Seems to be a glitch, and a couple people are texting me they cannot get on Instagram. This will be the only one I do this for because it's about 4 people, so that's it. Okay. All right. So explaining your offer. That's what I'm getting at is you have to explain your offer. Imagine from a third person view. If you listen to a seller and you listen to somebody, an investor trying to buy a mobile home, the investor, you hear the investor trying to negotiate and the seller say, I want 10,000 for my home. Okay. Now the investor understands the numbers. They understand the market. They know why they're offering what they're offering, but they have not taken the time to tell this seller why it is that they're offering what they're offering. It's going to be an insult immediately. Picture this: I want 10,000 for that home, and the buyer responds, "I'll give you 2,000." No explanation, no anything, just a automatic response to "I'll give you 2,000." Well, it's not going to work out. You're probably going to see the end of that conversation there. Okay. Now, what do I mean about explaining your offer? Okay. When a seller tries to sell you a mobile home, they're typically going to try to compare their mobile home to the one that just sold behind them, in front of them, across the street, maybe 2 rows down, whatever it may be. Another mobile home inside of the park. They will try to compare it to that one, even though the one that they're comparing it to might have just got a full rehab, new flooring, new roof, maybe even central heat and air, walls got painted, etc. It was a move-in ready, whatever exit strategy it was, right? Theirs, on the other hand, they need flooring, they need to paint the walls, the carpets need to be replaced, the roof needs to be resealed, the list goes on. So when you're offering this, I guess it's right for them to think their home is worth the most, but I immediately bring them back to earth by pointing these things out. Yes, Mr. Seller, I do remember that mobile home. I actually checked it out, but I didn't even get a chance to make an offer. I remember I saw it. They posted it. They had a full rehab done, right? Because you're explaining, you want them to know why it is that you're offering what you're offering. So I will point out the carpets they use, the walls they repainted. They even changed it from the particle walls to sheetrock. The ceiling got repainted, the roof got resealed, and I'll just go list and list. What you're doing is you're letting them know that theirs do not have these things. They have to do these things. And at the end, I'll end it with, now, I think that if you were to take the time, you were to take the money in the investment, and you put all these things on yours, you can probably sell yours for more than what they got for theirs. But in the condition that your mobile home is in, this is what I can offer. It is all my responsibility. I have to invest in it. I have to put the money, the work, the labor, the handyman, everything comes on me. You get to walk free and clear. That brings them down. The defense is off. Okay, well, that makes sense. Still not going to get a yes. Shouldn't get a yes. But at least they know why now you're offering what you're offering. Okay. Any questions? And y'all stop me, like I said. I get it talking quick, drinking coffee too. So, all right. Let me see. Now, when you're trying to make an offer on any mobile home, before I even approach a seller, I want to always study the market. What sold in the past 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? I want to know. Here's the thing about investors and even direct sellers. Many times they're quick to post on social media. And by social media, you should already know where they're posting them. Facebook Market, Craigslist, Lego, Classified, whatever, all these selling sites, right? They post all these deals, quotations on there, but they never remove them. At one point, these homes are sold, and you figure with all the message, they would just remove them, but they leave them on there. Now, what this does is allows me to get in and see what kind of product they deliver, what they asked for. I don't know if that's what they sold it for, but it gives me an idea. Say, well, mobile homes, we don't have the typical Zillow, the Trulia, the realtor that we can go see with something sold specific. Okay. So you have to be able to get your comps from creative ways this way. So I want to study that market. I want to study that mobile home park. And you can call the park manager, the park owner, if they work there directly, and ask them, what is the last mobile home that sold in the park? What did it sell for? What was the size of it? See what you're doing? You're creating comps, because I want to know what mobile homes that are move-in readies are being sold in the specific park. And no, two parks are not the same. Same like real estate. Just because you have one park on one side of town, same city, same county, does not mean that the next one is selling for the same thing. You know, funny enough, one thing on that was lot rent. In one county specific, we noticed that lot rent, and the thing was that both parks offer the same thing. So I'm still trying to figure out how that one is working out. But one park is charging, what was it, $250, and the other park, 10 minutes away, is charging $485. No different amenities, doesn't look any better, about the same size, really. That was interesting. That's typically not what you see. You kind of see in the same numbers, but that right there is a good example of why, you know, it could be the same, is totally different. You know, just like real estate, one house here does not cost the same as the one right across, or, you know, just things change, the market changes. So you have to study each market. And when I say market, a lot of times I can mean a specific park. We don't have to go down the highway to find another mobile home to compare, not unless you're dealing with one that has land. Then that's real estate, and that's a whole different story. But if it's inside of a park and it's a decent size, 100 pets or more, you are going to be able to find enough comps there. Somebody's always selling there, somebody's always buying, somebody just sold. Maybe it might have been, like I said, in the past 90 days. That's fine, but you have resources now. Comp that, find out what's sold, talk to the park managers, park owners, and or residents. They will tell you. Nobody on Instagram, nobody on. Okay, we'll keep going. All right, so you find out what the mobile homes are selling. We're going to use easy numbers. Okay, this is the formula. Backwards. You work everything backwards and you subtract and you figure out if it's a good deal, okay deal, can I make it into a deal, negotiation, or not in the same ballpark. And if it's not in the same ballpark, stop wasting your time. There's too many deals out there in the market for you to spin wheels and try to make a deal that is not a deal. Never squeeze something that should not be a deal into a deal. Before I go into this, let me talk about this real quick. The only numbers that can come down to make sense are always going to be the price of the home. If you start thinking, okay, if I can get the home for X amount, if I have to put X amount of labor, X amount of material, X amount of holding, I will be at this number. This gives me this profit. This is what my ROIs, return on my investments, look like. So that means that I need to spend less on material. I need to spend less on my handyman. Well, that's a no-no. Because if you start reducing, excuse me, the labor, the material, you will start delivering a poor product. You don't reduce the labor and you don't reduce the material. I have a video, by the way, on YouTube. I just uploaded me actually browsing, you know, certain social medias that may help you on that as well, should help you. But the only price that you should be trying to get lower is the cost of the home. That's what needs to make sense. And that's regardless of what the seller may be. Lower, negotiate. Okay, you're never going to get a yes on the first try. It is always about a follow-up is key. And if you do get a yes on the first try, you offer too much money. That's nothing to be proud about. It may still be a deal, but you offer too much money. Okay, the formula. Let's say in a park, they're selling for $20,000. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, single wide, 14 by 70, typical size mobile home, 80s, 90 model, doesn't matter. 20,000, this is a full renovated, move-in ready. So then I know that, okay, if I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or 2-bedroom, 1-bath, I have to adjust just a little bit up or down. XL viewer joint paying with joint flex now. Make sure you adjust your numbers up or down a little bit, but keep that in mind. And from there, that's where you're going to want to reduce. Keep in mind ROIs, my return on my investments. If you don't know how to calculate that, you can go to your phone, Play Store, and download ROI calculator. They have them. They're easy to use. Okay. And what you want to do from that 20,000 is, okay, how much material is it going to take, you know, estimated on this home? Add that up. You got the 20,000 on one side, and you got 2,000, 3,000 material. Okay. Then you got labor. How much of labor is that going to cost me? Another 2,000. Put it over here. That's 2,000. Okay. What about holding costs? What is holding cost? Lot rent. How long is it going to take to rehab? 1 month, 2 months? It should not be that long, but let's just calculate 2 months. Okay. Lot rent is $300 each month. That's $600. What about insurance? What about utilities? You have to have power, you have to have water. Even if your contractors, this is a tip, even if your contractors have all power tools, that's fine. But if I don't have the power on the home, how do I know, or how can I check that all the plugins work, all the breakers work? You can't. You have to have the power on. So that's going to be an expense, maybe a deposit you can get back, whatever. But you add these up. So this number start to add up, and then you have 20,000 on this side, right? And you keep comparing. Okay, we're adding up now. Now we're at 10,000. Now we're at 12,000, and it keeps on going. Is it a good deal? Then what are they asking for the mobile home itself? What is the seller trying to get for it? And you come up with the total. Where are you at? Every deal is different. No investment is the same. To some investors, a ROI may be okay. I'm pretty specific as to what I like on mine and what I like to spend all in. Those of you that see my videos, you see that I'm 5,000 all in. That's my number. 5,000 all in. That's material, that's labor, that's holding, that's for the home, everything in. If I go in a little bit over, which I did in this previous mobile home, which I'll be presenting soon on the video, by the way, it happens. But you have a number that you have set, and every market is different. If you're trying to invest in California, 5,000 is not going to happen. So keep that in mind. But you have to have a number, and you have to decipher, is this worth my time? If the market, back to these numbers, 2-bedroom, 2-bath are selling for 20,000, and already estimated here, I'm at 15,000. Now that's not counting the oh my goodness moments. Let's not forget that. With any rehab, you're going to have oh my goodness moments. That means that somewhere something is going to go wrong. Maybe your handyman or contractor, you're going to pull some walls up, flooring. Now there's mold. Now there's more issues, more damages, hence more time, more labor, more material. You have to be prepared for that, and you have to allocate that. I usually put about a $500 on there somewhere, just in case something goes worse or something comes up. There's an extra $500, okay? And don't go light on that one. Never again. Don't try to make a deal work. If it does not work from the start, it's probably not going to work in the end. It is going to be a stressor from get-go, and it's not going to work out. Any questions so far? Instagram, I cannot see you. I see some things over there, but I will check you out here in a few minutes. So, okay, let's keep going. So, formula. Does everybody think you understand the formula? How to work backwards, figuring out the number, what that market is selling, and this is the same thing for virtually. If you're trying to invest next state over, starting to get a lot of phone calls from New York, Maine, Ohio, California, and they want to invest in the Southeast. I don't blame them. I know why. But you have to know those numbers. You can study the same way, and it's always, you want to master one market. So let's say you're in Georgia, you're in Atlanta. Pick a radius. How wide out do you want to go from that radius? 20 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles, and you have to master that market. You cannot be dipping in different states if you have not mastered one market, because you're never going to get ahead like that. And the more you master that one market, the easier when those deals come there, they're quicker. Now I know the numbers. What are the lot rents? You can tell them immediately. What are the rental rates? You know those immediately. So it makes you a faster, more productive investor. Chats. Okay. No comments, questions so far. So let's keep going. Okay. Key to this, like I said, when you do make an offer, then you want to follow up. You know, the more congested, I'll use that word, the more congested, the more mobile home investors get into this game, the more options that a seller has, the more buyers that are available. And a lot of people are just willing to take that one deal. So don't lose out on a deal for a couple $100. You know, be smart about that. If something is worth that extra, a couple $100 or what it may be, you know, don't try to negotiate somebody to the last penny. You know, you're losing out on the dollars because you're concentrated on the pennies. Know that term, that's not going to happen either. So keep that in mind. But follow up. I'll follow up typically when I make an offer with the next 24 hours or less. Here's one thing I like to do with sellers. I like to put a little bit of urgency, because as with any seller, all they want is that individual that pays that extra dollar, right? Whoever pays more, that's who's getting the home. They don't care, and that's fine. So what I don't want to do is spend my time reviewing the home, especially if I go out there and review it, Make an offer. I'm down to everything. Pretty much, it's the ball's on their court. I will let them know, okay, I'm going to buy an investment in this area, today or tomorrow, regardless. I'd love it for it to be yours. Okay, so I need you to let me know by tomorrow about this time because I need to make a decision. So you're adding a little bit of pressure instead of letting them know, just give me a call whenever you can. What they're going to do is they're going to run back to their business cards, to their Facebook, and they're going to look for somebody who's buying mobile homes like you. And they will tell them, well, I had a guy or a lady offer me 3,000. If he can give me more, you can have it. And that other investor will say, well, I'll give you 3,500. Deal. And you just lost the deal. So put a little bit of pressure on every seller. Give them a time frame when they need to let you know by, and then call back, follow up. And many times they will call you because they've shopped around. Nobody gives them that much. And if it exceeds that time, I have been known to offer even less. Well, it's past the time. We're not beating them up. This is business. And, it is past the time we told you, and I already found another property. Now, in my case, I did find another property. But, I can offer you 2,000 now. If you want that, we can settle on that. And it's gotten me cheaper deals. So there you have it. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes you lose deals. That's part of it. What do you compensate for transporting the home? That's a different bit of investing because you have to call your movers. I can't give you specifics. I can tell you that roughly, on estimate about a 50-mile, and I say 50-mile. Most movers don't like to move them more than 50-mile radiuses. Don't try to move a mobile home 400 miles. That's not going to work. Some people will move them, but most movers after 50 miles, they start charging you 10, 20, 30, 40, or even more per mile. So that's not cost effective. Usually single wide, 14 by 70, I use the size. On a 50-mile radius, you're looking anywhere from 2 to 4-ish thousand to move it. So, compensate on that and see if that still checks out. Maybe it's a free mobile home, that could work out. So, okay. All right. I am going to present you a deal. How do I share? Here we go. Give it a second, make sure I'm sharing. We got a lot of inventory right now. We'll talk about that here in a little bit as well. But this one here is actually a mobile home inside of a mobile home park that I will be getting about 10 units, 10 individual mobile homes available. And this one being one of them. So if you want this one, you're about to hear the numbers. Okay. Let's see. Guys, I got slow internet. Whoever's commenting, let me try to. Vivian is a Garcia Home University student. Right now, we are seeing it cost is higher in the current market, closer to 4,000 to move. Yeah, and that's the thing is, with the cost of demand as well, the more people want to move mobile homes, like anything else with demand, those numbers start to go up. Those movers now, instead of taking 2-3 weeks to get to your mobile home, they could be telling you might be a couple months. So keep that in mind. But Vivian, I would keep looking. And get with me after this, by the way. I don't know where you're trying to move one from, but I got mover contacts, so talk more to me on that one. Okay. All right. The presentation is up. This one is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's a single wide, a little bit smaller. I think it's a 14 by 60, 14 by 56 measured out, but it's rounded 60. So we got this one here. Okay. And we're going to break it down. Not pretty. It's not supposed to be. Somebody said, oh, the mobile homes you got are dirty inside. They got trash everywhere. Yes, they're supposed to. If it was move-in ready, they'd be 20,000, not 2,000. Okay. Looking at this product here, and I think out of all the deals still that we have, I think a lot of reason why people hold back is because they don't know how to estimate. They see something like this and OMG, run away. They are scary to look at for one. And I mean, they are old. They look gross, whatever, different names. But let's start breaking down this and let you see from a different perspective. Stop looking at it from the heart and start thinking from the mind. Investments, ROI. What does that look like? If the numbers add up and equal up, it's a good deal, right? Okay. This is the kitchen here, whatever is left of it. Okay. So, and this is what the bathroom here. So, okay, think already here, and I'm gonna just break this down if I was doing it. Okay, so just kind of shadow me is what you're doing. All right, I'm gonna put new cabinets right here now. I'm not gonna do this whole row of nonsense. I'm gonna cut these out. I might put 2 here and 2 here, and then because the stove's got to go here, and then I want a top for that. Maybe the microwave on top as well, right? And the fridge, I imagine, is going to go on this side here. And I honestly don't recall. I was in this mobile home, but this I'm going to change. Okay, we're not going to go by this round, big all top countertop. A countertop at Home Depot or Lowe's, you're looking at about $80 to $100. Now that's about a 30-foot long, which means that you could put one section this way, the other section this way, and put the sink on this side or this side, wherever you want, and then get the bottom built. I would get my handyman to build the bottom. Okay, maybe some cabinets, or you can just buy that section as well. But you're talking about $100 top for this. Cabinets here, maybe about $300 for everything I need on top, and then another $200 for the bottom. There you go. You got a kitchen there on that. Okay. Go back and look at that video where I was browsing Craigslist and Facebook group. I think I got Lego, maybe I got into a little bit, but you will be able to see some of that stuff and why cost effective has to start with comes out of pocket for the material. You have got to stop spending excess money on brand new material that you don't need. We're not trying to be cheap. We're just trying to be mindful of what we're spending. So every penny that comes out of your pocket has to come back before that return on your investment checks out. So, okay. Flooring, as bad as this floor looks like, most of it has actually been replaced. As you can see, this is real lumber. You know, what you don't want to see is particle, which will look something like this, but on the floor. Okay, all these little pieced up sections here, you know, there's ways to cover these up. I would probably replace all these little sections and just put brand new sheets. One sheet of plywood measures 48 by, it almost looks like this sheet right here, but it would be plywood this size. You would put one sheet, 2 sheets, 3 sheets, and you're talking about $20, $30 per sheet. So when you think about a flooring, oh, I got to replace an entire mobile home flooring, that's going to cost me thousands. That would be incorrect. Okay, 1 bedroom in a 14 by 7, even 14 by 80, 16 by 80, you're talking about 3 sheets per room. That's not $1,000. Okay. Carpet I use typically, I'm going more to vinyl. I'm doing a whole lot of rent to owns at this time that I'm, you know, building my portfolio. And I used to use carpet for bedrooms and vinyl for kitchens, for hallways, laundry rooms, bathrooms, etc. I'm doing vinyl across. I don't want carpet. It's gross. It's just, even the one we used to get, which if you like to get carpet, we used to get inside and outside. It was interior, exterior carpet. Rather cheap, and it actually did not take that foam that you use on most of the carpets underneath. It just laid on top like vinyl. Okay, so I would replace this flooring here. There's a better picture
Hey,
on
Jay,
there. Talk about that. Yes.
I had a question. The thickness of the flooring, I know we're looking at different material compared to houses versus mobile homes.
Yes.
Now, mobile homes would typically use 3/4 inch plywood or 1/2 inch.
3/4.
3/4. Okay.
I use that. I mean, you use whatever you want, but 3/4, I like to use that. It's thicker, it's solid. I mean, I don't want to. And the thing about lumber is once lumber gets wet again, you know, it's not going to ruin it. So that water would have to be soaked on that wood for a long time before that ruins. But I would go ahead and go with 3/4. Okay, change this out.
I got a question.
Yes.
The 3/4 inch plywood you said you find that for $20? Where you
20,
find that at?
$20, $30 at Home Depot. I get specific. I don't use Lowe's much. Most of my material comes from Craigslist, Lego, Classified, Facebook. But I do have a contractor license with Home Depot, which any of you can get. You don't have to be a contractor. You just have to, you know, in a sense, I think, secure X amount of money that you will be spending with them. You go in and you fill a form out and they will get you discounts. So you buy in bulks and it's cheaper. Everything bulk.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any questions on this kitchen? Let's go to the bathroom, okay? And I do have totals for you. So, okay, bathroom here. So somebody tried to do some work. It looks like they used sheetrock. They even mudded it. When I say that, it's that white caulk stuff that you put on it to make it smooth for any cracks, that sort of thing. So they try to do their best in here. The shower, I would not change this out. The tub, keep in mind that this being the age that it is, if you remove this shower, you're gonna have a hard time finding the size. So if you do that, you probably want to go with a stand-up and make it cheaper. Okay, you cannot go to your normal home improvement store and say, give me a tub and it's gonna fit in here. This is smaller. As you can see, it goes from wall to wall. So, but there's nothing wrong with this tub. I would leave that. Toilet, I would leave it. Toilets, you can get them at Home Depot for anywhere from $80 to about $100, $110 for brand new toilets. If it's completely disgusting, switch the toilet. Okay, especially if it's leaking and everything, I would go ahead and say, let's just get a brand new toilet in here. This I would leave. This I would try to fix around, maybe dress it up a little bit better. But if you cannot, you can buy these sheets at, again, Home Depot, and you $30 I think per sheet, and they're a lot bigger. You can cut out and make them fit. They wouldn't have these things here on it, so they would be more like a flat wall. You have to get something to do. I think they sell something at like Walmart where you goes from like up here to the bottom where you can put shampoos and that sort of thing. You got to get creative. But I would probably replace these sections here. I don't remember if these were cracks or just the way it's set up. But if you can fix it, get a handyman in there. They're going to be able to tell you. They can dress it up, make sure. The biggest thing is that it does not leak. You don't want water creeping back here and then it gets in the bottom behind the tub. That's bad news. That's mold, that's soft, the whole tub. You could be taking a shower and you're going down south. So don't do that. Okay. The top on here, these windows, I've never been a fan of these windows. They tend to leak. This one does not, shockingly, but I would definitely seal the exterior if you're going to keep it, or I'll remove it. I typically remove them. I don't want this window. You can't see. I mean, there's just no need for that. So if I do, these are easy fixes. Seal it from the outside, insulate from the center, put sheetrock or that green board on top, flush, paint it, you're good to go. Okay. Shower head, of course, all these things are cheap. And if you watch that video, you'll see all these little bulk ideas that I gave you. You can find things like shower heads, these knobs, these little sink things, $5, $10. I mean, get bulks of this. If you're going to do this repeatedly and you're going to keep doing, home after home, you need to have almost a garage or storage somewhere that you can keep these products, because more and more stuff are going to be coming. So start saving this stuff. When you get on Facebook Marketplace, a lot of times people might have rehabbed a house and they have excess material they simply want gone. Go get that stuff. If it's worth the drive or across the street from you, go get it, save it, you will use it. And the thing about anything that comes from a house and goes inside of a mobile home, it technically it tends to look pretty good. Okay, it's just a little higher grade. So keep that in mind as well. The cabinet here, I would get rid of this disgusting thing here. I mean, you can get one at Home Depot, brand new one, nice one, for about $100. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the sink here with the faucets. They look okay. I could probably salvage those, keep them. The new one, I have a hole where you can put this straight on it or make the holes larger. Your handyman contractor can do that and set this in. These things here are free on social media every day. I see these things left and right, so there's no need. And even toilets sometimes. Thing about toilets, if you do get them free, many times you're gonna have to replace all what my contractors call the guts inside. All the things in it, the seals, sometimes if it adds up more than just going to get a brand new one, again, use common sense. The wall here, I would sand down, make it nicer look, and paint it. Something like these holes, this cracks right here, fix that. Maybe you can mud that and fix it. Doors, this one looks beat up and done, so I would definitely want to replace that door. Again, this is another one of those things like a tub where the sizes are smaller than the average house. You cannot just go and find one. You'll have to get creative. If you go to Home Depot and buy a normal size door, what is it, 30 by 80, I think it's what it is. You can cut an inch from each side of the door and it typically fits. Get creative, or go to social media and find them for free. And that is part of that video, by the way. We're looking at doors. Flooring, if you were to replace the entire floor here, you're looking at about a sheet and maybe a piece. That's it. One sheet should be able to cover this entire floor. And this, is nasty as it may look, if it's lumber, which it looks like, it could just need to clean up and fix it and put new vinyl over it. Good to go. Stop me at any time if you have questions on what I'm presenting here. Okay, going to the next one. This is the actual.
I got another question.
Yes.
Sorry. So
No,
I know there's some things. I know there's some things that you can't use it for a traditional home that you. I'm sorry. So what are the things that you can actually use for a traditional home as well as for a mobile home? So I know you mentioned like the door, you can't the door, you have to cut down the tub. What are some other things that, because I've had handymen where they say mostly everything that I need to, that deals with water, I need to buy from the mobile home supply store. Is that so? Like the faults and all that stuff, he always wants me to go to the mobile home supply store. Is that accurate, or there's things that I can get from Home Depot instead of the mobile home supply store?
Home Depot should work just fine for all the things. The only things that really change, and I mean, the newer the mobile home gets, the more they're starting to be like houses. So, you know, a lot of these things are actually the same sizes now. But the tub, the doors, the windows, if it's a 80s or earlier mobile home, the windows tend to be smaller. So you would have to go get that. I would not go get windows from a mobile home store, because that's with anything you buy specific for, you know, it's going to cost you more. Here's a trick for y'all. Home Depot does not do this anymore. I'll save the story for later, but Lowe's does. If one of these windows, let's talk about this one here, is broken. Now this one I think is a normal size window. I would measure it. I would measure that window from where the metal piece is at, you know, bottom to the top, side to side, and you can go to Lowe's and they can cut you windows exact sizes that you need. A window like this, instead of replacing the frame and everything, I leave it where it's at, clean it up, get that size window. It's going to cost you around $10 to $15. That's it. Go get you some silicone, some sealant glue that is for windows. You can put around the strip of the metal frame. You put the window up against it. Once it's cleaned up, moving a little quick, and it'll be sealed. Brand new window. And that's what it'll cost you. If you try to go get the same window from a mobile home store, you're looking at a couple $100 minimum. So again, everything is about keep those numbers low. I don't want to spend any more, even if it is up front, if I'm gonna get it back. The less I spend, the better.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it on those. Instagram, I will get to you here shortly. So, all right, in this bedroom here, perfect example. I like bedrooms like this. I know it looks nasty, dirty, but trash should not scare you. Trash can be cleaned up easy. Anybody can clean up trash. I like the lumber. Somebody's already done the work for me. And even better, if it had carpet on top, somebody's done remove that disgusting carpet, especially if they had pets. Nothing against pets, but pets pee, poop, yeah, and that smell will be on there. It'll stain them. It's gross. So when I walk into a mobile home and a bedroom looks like this, they've done the work for me. Get that carpet out of here. So this is a cleanup. I didn't see any real issues. You see this little section under this window, which again, you know, when you're thinking about windows, you're thinking leaks. Anywhere where there can be a leak, I want to check whether it looks it or not. Okay, so it looks like maybe it might have been damaged here. The insulation is gone. I don't see any damage on the flooring, but this will have to be resealed from the outside first, then insulated in the center, new sheetrock, painted over. Cheap, easy, okay? The flooring needs nothing. Clean it up and decide, do you want to do vinyl or do you want to do carpet? I cannot recall what the how much I pay for my carpet or that at this time, but I know I get a discount. Everything I buy in bulk, so I get rolls and rolls of this and it's cheaper, and that's what you need to do. So think about rolls. Home Depot, Lowe's, they're happy to sell you rolls versus trying to cut you pieces. Don't measure this room and go to Home Depot and tell them, okay, give me a 16 by X amount. They'll do it, but it's going to cost you more, okay? But this room needs little to nothing. Fix this light fixture. This little strip here in the center can be stapled back up. There's nothing wrong there. So see no leaks. I would definitely paint the ceiling. I love painting ceilings. There's something about it. You know, especially if people smoke, when you come in and you just paint the entire ceiling white, bright white, it just makes the home look bigger. So it's all about presentation as well where you can. All right, next bedroom. We were talking slightly on this with the window. Gave a tip on that. Whoever asked that, thank you for that, by the way. I wasn't going to talk on windows, but flooring is the same way. I don't see any damages here. It's all lumber. That's what I want to look at. Walls, this is terrible here. We can definitely sand this down. I don't see anything we need to change. They will sand it down, repaint it. We're good. You see this closet right here. What I use on closets are called accordion doors. There's two reasons why I use that. One, they're cheaper. And two, if you put normal sized doors on here that they open into this room is small enough. So anything open in here is just going to make it look that much smaller, that much more crowded. So when you think of accordion doors, you know, one would go from about here to the center, the other one from about here to the center, and they close in. An accordion, they close in and out. It's spacious, it's cheap, and they apparently last because I've used them as rentals years ago, and For some reason, I don't think I ever saw one tore up, which would you would think that's what they would tear up if, if anything. So, but they didn't. So that's what I use on that. You can get those at Home Depot for about $20, $30 per according door. Okay. And those two, you can cut an inch off from the bottom if you need to, couple inches. We've done them. Light fixtures. I get them from Home Depot, get discounts on it. I usually buy bulks, but I can get a whole entire light fixture for about $5 to $7. Nicer looking ones too. So, I know you can buy the little pin that you can put on here, but when you buy a pin, you're looking at $5 to $10 plus the bulb. So you might as well get rid of this old thing here, or maybe you want to do a fan. If you can do a fan in here, it depends on how high the ceiling is. Get you a $50, $60 fan if it's, within the budget, and put it up there. Okay. Next bedroom again. So see, this, as nasty as it looks, you're seeing that it's a lot more cleanup and touch up than anything. Okay, this next bedroom, same way, lumber. It looks like they replaced this recently. This is obviously newer than this over here, just from the age of it. The crack, I don't like the way it looks, but they have this stuff called liquid cement, which is for flooring, and that's what you see right here. And all it does is it covers these cracks. You would not want to have these cracks and you come in and you put vinyl over it. Air gets through, bugs, whatever. That's not a sealed floor. You have to put something in between here. Okay. I saw a contractor one time. It works, I guess. But they were using that foam, that spray foam. And if you can visualize that, the amount of work by the time they sprayed in here, came back and cut that off and refill, man, that's that's a long day. Don't do that. Okay. Some of these things that I'm pointing out to you, you need to be able to point out to your contractors. Now, we have a whole lesson topic on contractors because that is huge. Everybody can fix everything. That's a given. And they're going to tell you that, oh, I've done mobile homes for 20 years, etc. Well, we're going to find out. So I wish I can get more into this, but we're already over time. So let's keep going. This is the actual mobile home here. Exterior wise, I wouldn't do a whole lot of anything. I personally prefer metal on metal. What do I mean metal on metal? The skirting, forget about that. That's not part of the home. We can change that anytime. This is metal. If I come in and pressure wash this home, it will look like new. $100. I can get a handyman to wash it for me. If the roof leaks, it's metal, aluminum. It is the cheapest roof to repair. Okay, unless you have to replace the tire, then it's something different. But if you have little leaks throughout the home, which if you've been paying attention to these rooms, it doesn't look it. You can go to Home Depot and or Lowe's and you can buy a bucket of what they call this roof tar. They used to only make it black. They make white. Somebody said there was another color. I don't remember. But that's all you need. That 5-gallon bucket, a mop. You get up there, or your handyman contractor prefer, and they mop that stuff. They have to clean it, and then they mop it all throughout the roof. And once that stuff is sealed, you got a 10 to 15 year good roof. $100. Okay, cheap. That's how I like it. Next picture, another one that looks horrible. Oh, this is gone. This is demo time. Set the park owner. Okay. Electric is the biggest expense you're going to have in a mobile home, and I think that's the same for real estate. So if you have enough electric damage into a mobile home, that can make for a make or break deal. Keep that in mind. The first biggest expense you have in any mobile home is electrical. Then it's the plumbing. Then you get into the flooring, and then it's cosmetics. Okay, I don't see enough cosmetics in mobile homes typically that say this is not a good deal. It'd have to be something crazy. But if I walk into a room like this, and I don't think I can zoom in. Yes, the panel is gone. Yes, the breakers are gone, but all the wires are here. I'm okay with that. A whole new box like this at a home improvement store, you're talking about a couple $100 maybe. Breakers, $10 to $20 per breaker. And in a mobile home, you don't have more than about 10 breakers, right? You have the main one and then the little ones, and depends if you add extra wires, whatever you need. But you don't have many of those. So I'm looking at about a $300 fix here. That's not a deal breaker. Okay. And again, the most people, I can't deal with this. Don't let these things scare you, because you could be passing up on deals that are good deals. This is a great deal, by the way. Flooring here looks good. Lumber again, I would definitely clean this up. It's nasty. Seal it. Make sure there's no cracks that we can see. The insulation doesn't look like it's too damaged. If you want to replace it, go ahead and do so. Get rid of this insulation. I will check for mold while you're in there, check for any holes or anything, but then you put new sheetrock over this. I don't paint closets for the most part. I mean, you can, but once you put the accordion doors, which would go on this piece of, it's not a 2x4 in a mobile home, it's typically a 2x3, and you're good to go. Dress up the inside, maybe put there's not a whole lot you can do in this little bitty closet. So biggest thing is dressing it up. Once you put the panel box here, put the cover, this whole section needs to go. I would go ahead and get rid of this piece of sheetrock, put a brand new one, and then put the lid on top. You're good to go. Paint it, okay? There's no door, as you can see, there's missing. So you're talking about $30 for a brand new door or $10 on Craigslist. So it depends where you find it. Right beside it is the laundry room. That was this section. Remember I said we'll talk about it. So we're here from this side, looking back now. This looks ugly, looks damaged. There's not a whole lot going on here. I would fix these. Okay, kind of look like particle board, and it may be. So if this is particle board, it needs to go. I don't want this. I don't care if this is new. Get rid of this, especially in the laundry section. What goes on in a laundry section? A washer, which includes water. It's going to leak sooner or later. Particle board, when it gets wet, it swells up like a foam and it falls. It's terrible stuff. Don't use that. Okay, I know it's a little more expensive for lumber, but it's worth the investment. So I would put a whole new sheet right here, maybe a sheet and a half. That's about all you need here. I would seal these holes in this back. The fact that this is cleaned up, as you can see, this is the actual structure of a mobile home. All you need is new insulation here, from here to here, from here to here, top to bottom, re-insulate it, couple pieces of sheetrock, one on this side, good to go. Paint it. That's all you need. Okay. 20 bucks, 30 bucks. I don't know, maybe 100 bucks, 150 right here in this section. Okay. These little wires, all you see, there's nothing wrong with those. Handyman and contractor should be able to maybe staple them to these 2x3s, these studs. Same on this side. You can see this wall is also naked. So insulate it. That's on the inside of the mobile home. So you don't have to on that one. I would. And then put a piece of sheetrock and then come in with the vinyl. So questions? That's all the pictures I got. So I know this call would go longer, and it really should be going a lot longer. Okay, I have estimated on this home for material and labor. Okay, I got it from $3,000 to $3,500 to bring it back up to livable, presentable. That's where I'm at. $3,500 tops. And my contractors know, don't call me with $4,000. Okay, we already gave it that $500 extra boost there. So now the mobile home itself, I will get it for X amount. If y'all are interested, this home will probably be available to y'all for about $1,500. So you're at $5,000. There you go. And that's where you want to be. Okay. If you bring a contractor in here and he starts talking, oh, this is 10,000, this, and it's not for him to go, or her. Okay. That they don't do mobile homes. They don't understand affordability or affordable housing, and they don't know how to rehab a mobile home to make it presentable. That's all we are doing. Okay. We're not building mansions here. These are mobile homes inside of mobile home community parks. So your contractor, when is that call? What the offer documents. I may make it my next call next Sunday for y'all, because that's not for another 2 weeks. But if you're already here, you kind of need to know how to hire your handyman. The next call was supposed to be documents and closings, which is huge. But y'all send me a message. Which one you think we should go first? Should go the documents, closings, how to close on mobile homes, or should we talk about how to hire handyman and things to look for? Y'all let me know. Can you talk more about electric amps in home versus the age of the home? I can't tell you specific. I'm not an electrician. That would definitely be something from a contractor. I know that we've had to actually rewire before if we're going to use bigger size window units, which we can talk about that if y'all want as well. But we've had to run a whole new wire. We had to have a whole new breaker for that. But I don't recall what the numbers were. So send me that to my email, and I'll be happy to check with my contract and give you an answer on that. Somebody said
Okay, I
document
got another
closing
question.
next. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Can you give any recommendations on, the HVAC or the boiler system? Like, one, how do you determine whether or not it needs to be replaced? And then two, do you stick to a certain type?
That was a what now?
for like your AC and then your boilers.
Water heater?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we didn't touch on that. That's why I like y'all asking questions. I forget stuff. Let's start with water heaters. Okay, water heaters inside of a mobile home are typically don't exceed 40 gallons. I like to put them underneath my home. And now that you mentioned that, I didn't see it in here, which is probably underneath the home, but anything that leaks inside the mobile home, I don't want it. If I can avoid putting it in, and that means if I do appliances with the fridge, I want the one that doesn't make ice. Okay, so when it comes to water heater, I want to put them under the house if I can. It has to be electric. In a mobile home, you cannot use gas. Most mobile homes don't have gas, so you don't want that anyway. Get electric, get a 40-gallon. You can get them at Home Depot for about $250 to $400. It just depends on which one you get. If you get the contractor license that I tell you about, I know I used to get and buy 4, they give me a free one or something like that. So do not buy a used water heater. Okay. It takes too much work to replace them. You know, if you get a used one, unless it's your contractor telling you this is a good one to go, I would say that's one of those things. Get a new one. It's worth the investment. And if you sell a mobile home, that's actually a little something that you can throw out there. We got a brand new water heater, 10 years of hot water per se. So I mean, it helps you out sell it. AC, I don't replace. I don't put central heat and air. If there's already a system there that kind of works, I may bring my AC guy over there to check it out, maybe refill the Freon, whatnot. But if the whole system has to be replaced, you're talking anywhere from $3,000 to even up to $7,000 to replace it. That's not cost effective. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to put window units. In a mobile home, you need a window unit in every bedroom. Typically, even the bigger single wides, you don't need more than about 5,000 BTUs. That's the size of the AC unit. In a living room, I would put something from about 12 to 15,000 BTUs. That's a bigger unit. It can cool down, and it will tell you on each AC unit. It will cool X amount of feet. So you don't want an AC unit overworking either, and then the power bill goes up. So you're trying to be smart about that as well. Does 5K include contractor and handyman? 5,000 includes everything. Handyman, contractor, the home, the material, the utilities, the holding. I don't pay over 5,000. That's where I want to be. If I can sell the mobile home for 20,000, I don't like to be in it more than about a quarter. Sometimes if you're thinking a double wide, okay, it's double the home technically. Might be a little bit more, but I can also sell it for more. So also remember that the best deal as an investor is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single wide. It is the most cost effective. When you take a double wide, there's nothing wrong with them, but a double wide is technically 2 single wides put together. How much work will you have to do to each side? Think about it that way to still be able to make it a good ROI, return on your investment. Vivian said, do not buy a used water heater. Well, you took Garcia University, you better not have bought a used water heater. We're also finding that the older homes need to update the breaker and new water heater. Yeah, that happens. So, okay. Any other questions? Only one person had said do documents and closings for next week. So nobody else says something, that's where it's going to be. I mean, that's technically the next lesson. So we can stick the schedule. I'm just thinking handyman. For those of you who may need to hire one sooner, you may need to know. You can always message me. I can try to help you out as much as I can. While y'all are coming up with more questions, I'm gonna remind y'all Tuesday is Let's Do Deals at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Zoom call. We have a lot more inventory, but a lot of people have not invested. It's a shocker. Everything checks out. The parks are subleasing and investor friendly. The mobile homes check out. The numbers are there, and people are still hesitant to buy. I don't understand. So I'm not going to bring new inventory into the funnel yet. We're going to go over some of the same inventory that's available from there. Some people have bought. We have a couple investors that are doing great. They've already started, and I can't wait to see their products. I also want to show you on Tuesday the latest RTO that I did. I want to break down the numbers. I want to show you pre and post pictures and show you breakdowns of numbers, where the money went, where the contractor was at. So you kind of get an idea, because if you're investing, that's what your numbers should look like. When you're hiring handyman, you may need to go through 10, 15, or even more handyman before you find one that you can build a relationship. It's not all a money thing. It's not a money game, okay? Can you talk about roof repairs or replacement? I will never replace a roof unless it's absolutely in a point where it needs to be gone. You know, when you think about newer mobile homes with shingles, that's a different story. You know, you have to, you know, there are affordable roofs you can still use. If you have insurance on your mobile home, that's a plus because they will replace your roof for you. But just to, let me see, to repair it, like I mentioned on this video here, if it's metal on metal, that's easy. Get up there and reseal it. That's all you have to do is reseal it. Another tip on that same resealer, if you have leaks on your windows that you just cannot stop a window from leaking, use the same roof sealant. If it's good enough for the roof, it's good enough for the side, and it does great. Paint over it. So that's about what I do with that. I don't ever replace an entire roof. If I do metal on metal, I would actually put a tint on top of it. I wouldn't try to refix that roof or replace it. I would just put a whole new tint roof on top of that. That's, you know, cost effective, but you're still getting up there around 2,000 at that point. So keep in mind. Okay. Vivian, that's on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We will be talking about the Let's Do deals, and then I want to show y'all that deal just to kind of give you an idea, because that deal is in the same market where the other ones are available. So I wanted to kind of put numbers 2 and 2 together. Any other questions? All right, I need y'all's help on something. For Mother's Day this year, we've decided that we're going to rehab, which is in the process now. I think one of them that's coming available for us. We are going to rehab a mobile home, fully renovated, fully. We're going to put appliances in it. We're going to put everything. We're going to make it move in ready, and we're going to give it away to an individual, somebody really truly in need of a home that's going to be in Central Georgia. It's going to be for Mother's Day. So where y'all can help me out is I've been posting this Jay's Mobile Home Mothers giveaway. That's exactly what that's going to be. We're going to announce the winner on May 9th, Mother's Day. Hope that's the right day. And that's when we announce that. Now the actual home, we'll present it. We'll video all this, of course, but we'll present it at the end of May. The last week of May is when we're actually handing the keys over to the proud winner. Now, what we want the winner to be is not just somebody necessarily in need, but somebody that is in need but kind of goes above and beyond. You know, you have those people who have very little and still find ways to give. Somebody who cares about more than themselves. That's the individual that we're looking for. And there's a lot of people that are going to be eligible for this, but we can only pick one. We are hoping that this is not the only time we do this. We are going to keep doing this, you know, over a period of time. But right now, I want that word to spread out. So if any of y'all know somebody in Central Georgia, or that wants to relocate to Central Georgia, that wants to get in on this, all they have to do is send me an email. Y'all check out my Instagram, all my social media, and you'll see the details on that. Okay. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. The day before Mother's Day, for those of you who want to do something like what I did here, shadow event. That's basically, in a sense, partially what the shadow event is. We go out there and we're actually inside of a mobile home and we break it down. We dissect it. Jay, show me what you would do here. What would this cost? Should we replace this wall, these doors, these handles? What do you do? It's a whole Q&A event. Shadow event is awesome. It's about a 4 to 5 hour event. Some of you have already signed up. Awesome. I can't wait to see you. That's May 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Saturday morning. Typically $396 per person. But for Mother's Day weekend, we only did $99 per person. Only a few seats left. Those of you that are still a little curious as to what expenses should be, I will have contractors. At this event, we always have handyman contractors there. We have park managers, park owners there. So a lot of these questions that you may be scared to ask, you will have the ability there. They'll be there. There's no reason why you can't ask. So all your questions, if you want to sign up for this, let me know. Bring your questions ready. It's a giant networking event and awesome stuff. Nothing on Instagram.
I got another question.
Please. Yes.
When you flip to rent to own, do you include appliances?
Yes and no. Good question, by the way. Yeah, typically I would do at least a stove. minimum. Every now and then, if it's within budget, you know, we had estimated 5,000, we're only at 3,200. I'll go ahead and go get a, you know, one of those places, and they're everywhere, one of those used repair kind of things, and get you $100 worth of stove, another $100 for fridge. So I would, it makes the home more presentable. If it's a rental, I would say no, because when people leave, typically they tend to leave, vacate, not pay you, and they take your appliances. So I had to learn that the hard way.
Got it. Thank you.
Event location, it's going to be in Central Georgia. I will have specifics, but it's either going to be in Centerville or Warner Robins, which are right beside each other. But by this Thursday coming up, we will have our handyman and everybody locked in. We'll know which exact property. I know there's people flying from New York coming down. I think a couple was coming from Arizona. So I definitely will get you the details on that. But it's going to be in Central Georgia. It's a one-day event, 4 to 5 hours. See if any other questions on Instagram. I apologize, I've neglected completely. All right, we already went over, so a couple more minutes. Any other questions y'all have on this property? Any other pieces of material I might have missed? Maybe sections of the home you may want to know about? I think I got everything for the most part. This one anyway. Again, every investment is different. So, you know, this one may need this, the next one may need something completely different. Less, maybe more. It just depends. All right. If no other questions, like I said, I did record. I finally remembered to record on here. There we go. So I will be posting this on YouTube for those of you who want to go back and kind of catch some of these numbers, or get somebody in your team to watch it. You know, it will be available, and I'll try to record this. Y'all can help me out with that. If you don't see the record button next time, tell me to record, please remind me. How many bedrooms and baths was this? This was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, single wide, 12 by 60. This is located in Dublin, Georgia, by the way. The presentation I was giving you, Dublin, Georgia. Small park, but good market, decent numbers. All right, that is it. Next week, next Sunday is documents. That one is huge as well. Getting into the legality side, that is nothing to play with. If you're going to be flipping them, that's one thing. If you're going to be wholesaling them, that's different. But if you're going to be doing rent to owns, there's a few things you need to know. So stay tuned for that one next Sunday, 8 p.m. Keep on coming. Anybody you know that's interested, want to learn some of this, bring them on. These are free calls. No reason why not to join. But that being said, Instagram, that's goodbye for you. And Zoom, thank you for watching.